Get yourself set up there. Give yourself in
Just
there.
like that.
And then you can take a picture of my sign over there. And
Jeez, how'd you con them into that?
I don't know, they've been very supportive here.
You just come in a bit. Right.
There you go.
Very supportive.
Okay, come out of it. Okay, you go for it.
G'day Toowoomba, here we are with Lindsay Booth from Toowoomba Sightseeing. Lindsay, how are you?
Very good, very good. Just come back from our afternoon tour.
Yeah, it was a great tour. First off, why did you start Toowoomba Sightseeing?
I just believed it was a service that the city needed, like a designated one that our visitors could come and they'd know that it would run every day, Monday to Friday. So I'll run with only just a couple of people or a full bus of 23. And I think we needed that. In the past we've had people who would only run with groups, and it just didn't suit the lifestyle of the caravanners and the grey nomads. They just like to turn up, and it's just great to come here some days and you'll see the whole veranda full of people ready to go on the bus. Nobody's had to book, you know. They just, if they can get on, they get on. And I think that's important for a city to, like Toowoomba, to offer that.
Yeah, so there's not really anything else in Toowoomba that does cater for tourism, is there?
We have a lot of great bus companies here who do their job really well, but their focus is to take Toowoomba people to other parts of the world, where my focus is to bring the world visitors, once they do turn up here, just show them what we have got. And I really feel that we get a lot of people come here because, you know, they can fix their caravans and their cars affordably. You know, they can buy supplies cheaply here, probably the cheapest place in Australia to buy groceries and fuel. But they don't think we've got anything to offer, and then all of a sudden they'll think, oh, well, I'll go on a sightseeing tour, and it just opens up a whole new world to them. They realise we've got all the museums and all the natural attractions, and then all of a sudden they're staying an extra couple of nights then instead of just passing through. And I think that's where the bus helps tourism in the city.
Yeah, great for the local economy, great for the small business owner in the town, great for the motelier. So are you a member of any tourism bodies locally?
Yeah, well,
focus groups, anything like that?
I've joined the Southern Queensland Country Tourism Group, and only just a couple of weeks ago joined the Darling Downs visitor group that's with Ruth Wetmore. So I'm looking forward to working closely with those guys, and the Southern Queensland Country Tourism people, they've been very supportive. So this will be my first year that I've been able to advertise in the magazines and things. So I'm looking forward to a busy year coming up.
That'll be good. And you've got Streets and Lanes Festival coming up over Easter, and then Carnival of Flowers. How's Carnival of Flowers go for you?
Yeah, well, Carnival of Flowers I think will be even bigger for me this year. I'm going to do a lot more stuff. Normally I just do my normal tours and allow people to hop off at the different parks and gardens that aren't on the main route of the carnival show. But this year I'll offer even more interesting stuff and little secret spots around town for people to visit, little secret homesteads and things that aren't on the visitors' normal paperwork.
Awesome. That sounds great. And how much does it cost? So say I rock up, my wife and I and my kid, we rock up and we want to go on a tour. How much is that going to set us back?
I've tried to make it really affordable. It's just $20 for adults, $10 for students, and $5 for children. And most of my customers are golden oldies, so I try to make it really affordable for them so they can enjoy our city.
Yeah, and so your main clients are the golden oldies, sort of that baby boomer generation?
Very much so, and lots of people from Western Australia, Victoria, South Australia and Tassie who come up here in the winter time, so they're the main market. But I am starting to get day visitors that are coming up from the Gold Coast and Brisbane, and many of those people from overseas. And it's interesting, I'm starting to get a few of the Asian people who really love our parks and gardens and our big homes and lifestyle. So if I get them on board, I really highlight our lifestyle in the city, and our private schools. They love our private schools, which I understand many of them are starting to send their children to now. And
the education market's quite big in our region, especially with the university here. You can go to school and then head off to uni, so that's good. Why would a millennial or a young person, why should we come on a tour?
I think for the young ones, they probably think that sightseeing isn't for them, but I think it's always good to look back in our past history, and that way then you can see where the future's going to take you. And I think it's good to see where your parents and forebearers and how the city really started, and I enjoy talking about all the early people who put Toowoomba on the map. You know, we've been here since the 1840s, and it's a rich, bold history that we have, and it's good that the young people know about it, and they really do enjoy it when they do come on.
Yeah, well, Toomba's on the cusp of greatness. It's sort of at the same stage that Brisbane was probably back in the 60s and 70s. You know, the only thing probably missing from the area is some apartment buildings in the CBD to bring those younger uni students and professionals back into the town. But other than that, Toomba's got it made.
Yeah, and I think those things will come. I think they'll evolve. We'll get those big apartments, and because that's how people like to live now. They don't want great big expanses of lawn to look after, and I think that'll come. And I really think that our culture that we've got now, with all our food and festivals that we're having in the city, that's bringing more and more visitors, day visitors from the Gold Coast and Brisbane. And I capitalise a little bit on that too. I do wedding tours for wedding parties, and I do progressive foodies tours in the evenings. Take the people around town where I can spread where people go. They can have an entree in one restaurant, a main meal in another, and a dessert at another, and they're very popular. So
It sounds really good.
yeah, for groups, it's really popular, and even just to go to, you know, a few of our little breweries and bars and things. So I do those as well.
Excellent. Well, thank you for having us on board and showing us the sights of the eastern area of Toowoomba.
Yep.
And so, yeah, I'm Ben Apsey. I'm here with Toowoomba 4350 TV and Lindsay Booth from Toowoomba Sightseeing. So if you haven't yet, book a tour and get on board.
Thank you.
No worries.
Outstanding, mate. Great. That's good.
Oh.